Have you ever noticed how the recommendations you get online, for movies or articles or really anything, have started to feel, well, less like a simple matching game and more like a real conversation? There's a powerful new synergy at play here, and it's all about combining two very different kinds of intelligence. Let's dig into why this is changing just about everything.
It's a great question, right? It really feels like these systems aren't just predicting what you might like anymore. It's like they're starting to understand why you might like it. And the answer really comes down to a huge shift in how these systems are being built. We're moving from a sort of mechanical prediction to something that feels a lot more intelligent.
So to really get why this is such a big deal, we have to take a quick look back at where we started. The earliest recommendation systems, they were kind of like a human-powered cart. Think of things like collaborative filtering. It was great at matching simple patterns. People who bought this also bought that. But it really struggled with new items, new users, and our constantly changing tastes. It just didn't have much power, and it definitely couldn't adapt to new terrain. Then came the first big upgrade. We gave the cart an engine. And this engine was reinforcement learning, or RL. This completely changed the game. Suddenly, recommendation wasn't a static matching problem anymore. It was a dynamic, goal-oriented process. The system could actually learn from our interactions over time to maximize a long-term goal, like our engagement. It was powerful, for sure, but it was still just a mechanical engine. And that, of course, brings us to today's huge leap forward. The research community realized you could pair that powerful RL engine with a super sophisticated electric motor, the large language model, or LLM. The LLM brings all the world knowledge, the reasoning, and the deep semantic understanding that the RL engine was totally missing. And together, well, they create a system that's not just powerful, but truly intelligent and incredibly adaptive. So let's get a bit more specific. What was actually wrong with those old recommendation systems that you and I have been using for years? What was the core problem this new approach was trying to solve?
Well, the issues really came down to three things. First, they assumed our preferences were static. If you bought a toaster once, it just figured you were a lifelong toaster fanatic. Second, they were terrible at adapting to context. The action movies you want to watch on a Friday night are probably pretty different from the documentarians you might browse on a Monday morning. And finally, there was the cold start problem. A brand new user or a new indie film was basically invisible because the system had zero data to work with. Okay, so to fix all of that, researchers turned to reinforcement learning. And RL was a game changer because it reframed the whole idea of recommendation. It saw it as a sequential decision-making problem, which, if you think about it, is much closer to how we actually find and consume content over time. All right, reinforcement learning is a term that gets thrown around a lot. So let's do a quick back up moment and just break it down really simply. You have an agent, that's the recommendation system. It takes actions in an environment, and that's you, the user, and based on your reaction, the agent gets a reward, maybe a click, maybe a purchase, and over tons of these interactions, it learns a policy to get the most total reward it can. And this is that core loop in action. The agent recommends something, you react, the agent gets a reward for that reaction, and then it updates its whole strategy. It's this continuous cycle of learning and tweaking, all designed to get better at satisfying your long-term interests, not just trying to predict your very next click. But, and this is a really important but, even this powerful engine wasn't perfect, not by a long shot. RL systems really struggle to understand the sheer number of items they could recommend. They had a tough time with sparse feedback. I mean, most of the time we don't click on things, right? And training them properly required really good user simulators, which were notoriously difficult to build. And this is where our electric motor comes in. Large language models are providing the supercharge that RL so desperately needed, and they're addressing its biggest challenges with a completely new set of skills. The key thing to understand here is that LLMs aren't just a bigger engine. They're a totally different kind of component. They bring this deep, almost intuitive understanding of language in the world. And that lets the recommendation system finally grasp the meaning behind our behavior and what items are, not just the statistical patterns between them. So the research shows that LLMs can be plugged into the RL pipeline in 5 distinct and really powerful ways. Let's walk through these 5 paradigms, because this is where the magic really happens. The first and most direct way is to just use the LLM as the policy. So instead of a traditional model deciding what to recommend, the LLM itself just generates the recommendation, often along with a justification in plain English. It basically becomes the brain of the whole operation. But you can take this a step further and get even smarter. Before making a decision, the LLM can first act as a reasoner. It produces what's called a chain of thought, which is kind of like thinking out loud about your preferences based on your history. This makes the system's logic way more transparent and usually leads to better, more thoughtful recommendations.
The third paradigm is all about representation. In this setup, the LLM isn't making the final call. Instead, it acts like a universal translator. It takes all this raw, messy data, like product reviews or article text, and transforms it into a rich, structured format that the RL agent can easily understand and act on. Now, this ability to understand and generate language leads us right to the fourth paradigm, using the LLM as an explainer. After the RL agent picks an item, the LLM just generates a clear, human-readable sentence explaining why you're seeing it. Because you liked this movie, you might like this one. A simple step like that can dramatically increase user trust and satisfaction. And finally, we have the fifth synergy, which solves one of RL's biggest headaches. Instead of needing to test new strategies on live users, which is always risky, you can train the RL agent in an environment where an LLM plays the part of a realistic, dynamic user. It's basically a flight simulator for recommendation systems. It's brilliant. So, this new synergy is incredibly powerful, but it's not a silver bullet. And like any major technological leap, it introduces a whole new set of challenges that researchers are now working really hard to solve. The three big ones right now are hallucination, where the LLM might just make up factually incorrect justifications; efficiency, because these models are very computationally expensive to run; and bias, since LLMs can unfortunately inherit and even amplify biases that are present in their training data. Figuring these out is the next big frontier. So navigating those future challenges is going to be key. But for today, what are the most important things to take away from this new synergy? I think it really boils down to three central ideas. First, synergy is everything. Neither RL nor LLMs could do this alone. It's the fusion of RL's long-term optimization with an LLM's world knowledge that rates the breakthrough. Second, this leads to a much, much deeper understanding of what we as users actually want. And third, this really opens the door to a future of recommendations that aren't just more accurate, but are also more transparent and truly interactive. No, this explainer is for reference only. Take this further. I'm genuinely excited to see what you discover. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Until next time.